In order to become a successful trader, you must create your own emotional map. As the saying goes, you can't stop what you cannot see. Many traders fail to recognize the signals that occur before their executions break down. You may not even realize you're experiencing a certain emotion until it's too late and you've made a mistake. That's why it's important to map your emotional patterns and identify the triggers that send them off. How you do it? Start by paying close attention to what's going on before, during, and after each and every trade and each and every mistake. Write down the triggers, emotions, behaviors, and actions that you experience, as well as any change in decision making and market perceptions. Hey there, Tamir from FIBONACCI'S.com here with the daily market recap. Please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, and without any further ado, let's see the charts. CPI numbers came out. We had an opening gap to the upside, went all the way towards the 451, 450, and as you can see, this level of the 451 is still very tough resistance and went all the way back to the 445.50. So we are still in this very tight price range, 455 to the downside, 451 to the upside. Friday, August, not much of a price action tomorrow. Stay on the sidelines and keep your mental resilience. QQQ, 367 to the downside, still holding, 373 to the upside. Resistance. Let's see where the Qs will take us. For now, lower highs, lower lows. We have clear trend lines to help us identify where and what is the trend now. In the past 3 weeks or so, we are experiencing a downtrend, retracement. IWM moving sideways, but finally fill the gap at the 190. So we can delete it. It's not relevant anymore. Now, let's see if bulls of IWM can close the week above this purple trend line. As we can see, bears trying to break below it. Bulls needs to defend this purple trend line. Let's see where Friday will close. Dow Jones, not surprising, also moving sideways basically since middle of July, moving sideways, 350 to the downside, 353 to the upside, nothing much on the Dow Jones. A weekly close below the 349. In my opinion, we are heading towards this red trend line. Bitcoin. What can we say about Bitcoin? Nothing much. Went all the way a few days ago, went all the way towards 3,100, and since then, sliding back down. 29,300 needs to hold, otherwise we are heading back, retesting this white trend line that helps us to identify the lower lows. Ethereum, same thing, moving sideways, 1860 to the upside, 1813 to the downside. We have downtrend. We can identify each and every day, each and every candle, lower highs, lower lows, but nothing much on Ethereum. Oil, once again, trying to break below this trend line. In this case, in my opinion, and it's only my opinion, crude oil will manage to close the week below this trend line, and then we are heading back towards the 80 and 78. We can take Fibonacci. And here we are. Fibonacci gives us all the support and the resistance for future price action. If you like what you see, hit the like, subscribe, share with friends. Any comment, any feedback will be much appreciated on anything you see, you like or you don't like. Any suggestions? Let me know in the comments below. Apple, inside day, 180 to the upside. Still resistance. Bulls are fighting to close above it, but bears, now, don't let them. 176 gap, in my opinion, must get filled maybe tomorrow, Friday, before the next leg up towards 190. But in my opinion, until September, we will see sliding down all across the board. Amazon, 5th day. Doji, indecision. 136 needs to hold. Otherwise, we are heading back towards the 130 gap. Let's see where Amazon is taking us. AMD, nothing much. 119, 120 to the upside, 107 to the downside since middle of June. Almost 2 months of sideways move. So if you're not long or short on AMD, I would wait for a significant move. Long above 119, a weekly close above 119. Short, weekly close below 107. But of course, everything you see and hear on my channel is for educational purposes only. You want to know how to do your own due diligence, your own set of rules, your own strategy that fits you. Stop following others to tell you what to do, where to enter, where to exit, what to buy, when to sell. Take your own financial freedom in your own hands. Check the links in the description below. We have the one-on-one live mentorship program. We have the pre-recorded, same program, but pre-recorded 6 hours or 7 hours, 49 lessons, both programs, guaranteed lifetime access, support, guidance, all Discord channels, almost 24/7, until you will become your own indicator. My promise to you, it will happen. It depends on you. It depends the work you put on. For me, it took around 2 years of learning, experience, failures, until I became my own indicator. Check the links in the description below. If you want further information, you're more than welcome to check my Twitter. Contact me on Twitter or on Discord. All links in the description below. Nvidia breaking below the 50% retracement. Now 410 needs to hold, otherwise we are heading towards the gap at the 395, and we all know that more than 80% of all gaps will get filled. We have Nvidia earnings coming up August 23. In my opinion, this gap will get filled before the earnings, and then after earnings, Nvidia will experience a major next leg up, but it's only my opinion. Meta breaking below with an inside day, breaking below, second day in a row, this red trend line that held the higher lows. Now inside this channel, short-term channel, now 312 is the resistance. In my opinion, this gap will get filled, if not tomorrow, Friday, sometimes next week, and then next leg up going into 2023 Q4 starting October. Google trend lines. If you follow me on Twitter and you saw previous videos in the past few days or so, you know these red trend lines. Holding as resistance for the lower highs, holding support for the lower lows. Let's see where Google is heading. We have a gap at the 1, 2, 3 over here, sliding back down towards this purple trend line, short term versus long term. Long term purple trend line helps us to identify the higher lows, which means long term uptrend, short term retracement, maybe back toward this purple trend line. Microsoft continue sliding down. Let's clean the chart a little bit. Sliding down this red trend line. We drew this trend line a few days back, maybe 2 weeks back. We said as long as this gap is still open at the 316, Microsoft will continue sliding down slowly until this gap will get filled. Tesla trend lines are your best friend for future price action. Tesla we drew these white trend lines maybe 2 weeks back, somewhere over here, July 20 or 21. We drew these trend lines, and since then, Tesla sliding down, in my opinion, until the 234 gap will get filled. Netflix moving sideways in the past 2 weeks or so, as we can see. 427 to the downside, 440, all this area of the 438, 430, 438, 440, sorry. Moving sideways, nothing much. Breaking above 446. I'm waiting for a break and closing above the 446, and then with high probability, we are heading towards 468. Breaking below this 427, this slight gap at the 409 will get filled, and then retesting this red trend line. I always say with high probability because there is no strategy, no EMA, no indicator that can guarantee 100% bulletproof strategy. No strategy out there can guarantee you 100%. It's all a game of probabilities. Shopify, this white trend line, from support, if we go back, this white trend line from support, broke below it a few days back, and now resistance. Trend lines are the true support resistance for price action, and with the combination of really understanding candlestick analysis, aka price action on multi-time frame and Fibonacci levels, we can with high probability know where price might be heading next. A weekly close above this white trend line, and we are heading back towards the 60-30. A weekly close below this white trend line. Next week, we are heading towards 51 and then 48 gap, because we know that more than 80% of all gaps will get filled throughout time. So if you see a gap, you need to understand, you need to embrace that this gap, whether it's to the downside or to the upside, gaps are like magnets for price action. So hope you found this video helpful. Last video from Kopangan, Thailand. Next video will be from back home, back in China. Until the next video, stay safe.